Hello, Flosstube. It has been a wee while since I was here last, and I don't really have an excuse other than life's been busy. I guess these things happen. So today I am going to attempt a WIP parade, and if you see me looking around like this, it's because all of my cross stitches are on the floor in front of me, and I'm a bit like, I have a lot of things I need to finish. So yeah, that's where we're at today. So a lot of my WIPs I don't have completed pictures for. And in the interest of actually getting this up rather than, trying to insert lots of small pictures onto the, what's the phrase I'm looking for, onto the video, I'm probably just going to go with it. So it might be a bit rough and a bit ready, but at least we will have an episode because it's been far too long. I was thinking of doing just a regular Flosstube update, but since we are halfway and a bit through the year, I had planned to do a WIP parade for halfway through the year and it got away from me, so we're doing it now. Okay, we are also doing a couple of finishes because, oh my god, I actually have one fully finished object and one finished object, which you may have seen before. I can't remember if I've showed it. I found it sat in my stash and went, oh, I'd forgotten I'd finished that, as you do. So to start us off, this one was a gift. So I didn't buy this. I was very kindly gifted this by, what are they called? One second, just so I check I get the name right. A2V Brands. That's the name. So they very kindly gifted me this cross stitch design, which I have completed. As you can see, it is a Star Wars design. I did this one for my boyfriend slash fiance. Tell me off for saying boyfriend. So this is for him. He has seen it, so he knows. This is Baby Grogu and Star Wars. I think this is really cute. It was a nice quick stitch. I actually stitched this in a week from beginning to end in one go, as part of the Mania 5 starts in May, which I didn't complete, but I did start. So I completed this one. As you can see, he's lots of different colours. There's some backstitch in there, some different coloured backstitch. I quite enjoyed doing this actually. So that one is for my partner. It's stitched on, where's my board? Let's do this way. Shall we do this properly? Okay, there we go. You can actually see him now. We don't get loads of light in the way. So bring him a bit closer. You can't see me, but never mind. So what was I saying? Yes, he is stitched on 14 count white Ada. He is stitched 2/2. No, 2/1. Sorry, been out of practice at this. 2/1. There are French knots in this design for his eyes. Other than that, it's full cross and backstitch. Beginner friendly, I think, depending on how you feel about backstitch. I'm not the biggest fan, but I still enjoyed doing this. So that's my little Star Wars finish, and I think he's really cute. And my boyfriend will be really happy because now he can actually have this because he's been sat waiting for me to do an update for months. So that's my first finish. My second finish, you may have seen before. It has my dog's hair on it. How annoying. I should have checked that before I started. Everything is going to have dog's hair on it. It's a occupational hazard around here and I can't get it off. Okay, well, excuse the dog hair. But I finished this. I don't even know how long ago I finished this. So, and of course it's yellow, so you can't see very well, but it says, everything will be okay. I stitched this during the pandemic. That's how long ago I did this one. I thought the phrase was exceedingly appropriate at the time. I love this. I'd forgotten about it. It's been sat in my stash box. So I need to fully finish it. As you can see, I have not ironed it. Ironing? What's ironing? But I think it's really cute. I love the little whales. This was by the Geeky Cross Stitch Company. Again, it's stitched on 14 count white Ada. It's stitched 2/1. And I think, yep, there's no backstitch. There are no French knots. It is all full cross stitch. And it's so cute. I'm going to have to frame it and then I'm going to put it on my bathroom door, I think, because it's adorable. So those are my two finishes. I have finished one other this year, which you have seen before, which I'm not digging out because we have a lot of other things to go through. So WIP parade time. These aren't in any particular order. I'm going to try and go from oldest-ish to newest-ish, but they're not laid out in order correctly. So some of them will be in the wrong place because my memory is shocking and I can't remember. So those of you that have been with me from the beginning of my Flosstube journey will have seen most of these before. There are a few new ones. So let's start off with what I think is my oldest WIP. Where's that board gone? So this is a case of there's backstitch and I haven't done it. So this looks finished. This is my Halloween tree. This is stitched in all black apart from the moon and the owl's eyes, which are in glow-in-the-dark fabric. What you can't see is that there is a stain on the moon, so I'm going to have to try and wash this, and I can't wash the fabric because it's printed. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that, but we'll figure that out once we actually finish the backstitch. This pattern was in a cross stitcher magazine, oh goodness me, probably about 4 or 5 years ago at Halloween, and I can't remember what the issue number was, so my apologies. But I love this. I think it's really cool. I've done some of the backstitch, but you can't flip and see the backstitch, so I don't know whether it was worth me doing it or not. But I think I'm not quite all the way around the tree. I'm nearly all the way around the tree. I've done the owl, and then I just need to do the... I really could finish this probably in like a couple of days, so I really should get on with it. It's obviously stitched on pink, like mottly pink Ada, probably from Picture This Plus, but I couldn't swear to that. It's stitched 2/1. I love this fabric. I think it's really cute. So that, and it has my Halloween needle minder on it at the top. Don't ask me where I got him from, I can't remember. That is Halloween tree, and I really need to finish him. Coming up next, we have a design by, that is also covered in dog's hair, by, oh, what's she called? The Witchy Stitcher. I think that's right. I hope I've got that right. Or is it Night Spirit Studios? It's one of the two. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Night Spirit Studio. I knew I'd get it wrong. Sorry for the crinkling. So, this is by Night Spirit Studio. This was a gift from a friend. Jeanette, I still haven't finished it. I'm sorry. But we're getting there. So, again, it's not ironed. I really should have ironed these before I filmed, but I didn't think about it. This is, as I said, by Night Spirit Studio. This is Don't Summon Demons in the Bathroom. I finished the words. We got somewhere. So this is stitched in black and red DMC. It's stitched on 14 count Ada. Most of my sort of earlier projects are on 14 count Ada. It's 2/1, and eventually I will finish this because it is really, really pretty, and I don't really have an excuse because it's not a difficult pattern. I've just put it down and then forgotten to go back to it, as seems to be a theme with me. Sorry, terrible creasing on this, but that's my Night Spirit Studios piece. Again, having dug all of these pieces out, I'm like, I have lots of things that I need to get on with. Which was dangerous because I was doing quite nicely at one of these. Okay, next up, this is old. This is my full coverage piece. This is a pig. That's not fair. I love this piece, but it has a lot of yellow in it, and I'm not a yellow fan. And it's my first full coverage. So this is from Cross Stitcher magazine. No, sorry, Cross Stitch Crazy magazine. Issue number, she says, flopping it in front of her. Issue number 255. And it came out in June 2019. This magazine isn't in print anymore. They don't do it anymore. But the finished version, I can show you, will hopefully one day look like this. So that's the finished version. I think this is beautiful, and I love Stonehenge. I live in the UK. I've been to Stonehenge some years ago now, but it's beautiful and I love it, and I love this picture. So I'm not doing too badly. This is where I've got to. I've nearly got a page finish. Not quite, because I started doing that yellow at the top and couldn't see it and got annoyed. If I'm honest about what happened with this. My partner keeps asking me, where's your Stonehenge piece? You haven't worked on it for ages. So yeah, this needs to come out and have some love at some point, but it's beautiful. I'm actually really pleased with my stitching on this. I think it looks amazing. Giving myself props now, but I love this piece, but I really do need to work on it and get it done because it's been sitting around for far too long. So that is Stonehenge, again on 14 count white Ada, stitched with all the called for DMC threads, stitched 2/1. Now this is where I lose the order because I don't know what comes next. So those first few designs I started before I discovered Flosstube. And then Flosstube happened, and then I went crazy. Okay, so how to do this. I think I'm going to show you this one next. You've seen this before. I don't have the finished design to show you, and it is on a hoop. But, Lauren, you will recognise this. This is the 9 jars stitch along that I started last year with Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunny. I have not got very far. This is my Christmas piece. Now, I did dig this out this month for Christmas in July because this jar wasn't finished. It still isn't. I am doing the wretched, horrible, hideous backstitch and French knots. You can tell how much I love backstitch. But it is progressing very, 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 very slowly. Admittedly, I've put it down again because that backstitch is driving me nuts. But I'm trying to work on this in conjunction with one of my other sort of WIPs that I've been sitting around for a while. So this is stitched on 28 count even weave in forest green. I love the green. I wanted a Christmassy colour, so I went with the green. Yeah, this design, who is this design by? I have no idea who this design is by. I've forgotten. No, it's completely gone. I can't remember. But I'm doing it using all the called for DMC. So this is my Christmas jars, Sal. For details, see Lauren at Cross Stitch Bunny. She will have a video dated from around Halloween last year regarding this. If you want any more information, I'm really sorry, I can't remember the designer's name. Not good. I'm not very good at designers' names, so a lot of these don't have them, I'll be honest. Next up, I think this one came next. Again, it's crinkled. It's a mess. I don't have a designer for this one. This one, the pattern is from Etsy, and I don't have a picture of the fully completed design. But some of you will have seen this before. This is my Walt Disney, can't speak, Walt Disney Mickey's head opposite of villains, heroes. Couldn't think then. Again, this one, I love this piece. I just don't get to it, and it's really fiddly because there's a lot of colour changes in it. But it has progressed slowly. For a long time there was just Mickey and Bolt, and then I did Dopey over here, and this is the start of the princess from The Princess and the Frog. What's her name? Tiara. I think it's Tiara. Tiana. Couldn't remember her name then. Terrible Disney fan. But this is as far as I've got with this. It's on 16 count dark blue Ada. Bad choice of fabric. It's been marked, sadly, by my stitching hoop, and I have no idea how to get those marks out, but we'll have a go at some point. Really do like this. Love the stitches. Think they look really nice. It's very small and detailed. I think it looks very cute. But again, I put it down, and I haven't got back to it. Again, using all the called for DMC, stitched 2/1. Okay, a bit boring. I stitch everything the same way. What next? Okay, something a bit different. Do what? So, not sure how well you're going to be able to see the pattern, but this is what it will look like when it is finished. As you can see, this is an Owl Forest embroidery design. This is Baba Yaga. I love this. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this, and I can't believe I haven't finished it yet. I've had it for ages. So it's stitched on linen. Scary, I don't do linen generally. So it's on 32 count linen, Zweigart, Belfast, 32 count, 100% linen, there we are. I'm using this came as a kit, so I'm using the Owl Forest embroidery overdyed threads. They do their own I don't think if you live in the UK, you can get these anymore. I'm not sure, because I know they have changed. For a while you couldn't because of the situation with Russia and everything that's going on over there. I'm not sure if you can now or not, which is a real shame because I love their kits and their designs. However, where's that board gone? This is where we've got to. And again, I really should have ironed this. So this is my first attempt at stitching on linen. I'm not sure how I feel about linen. It's all right. It just kind of scares me a bit because it's delicate. And I am not the best with things that are delicate. However, how awesome is Baba Yaga so far? So as you can see, I started this with Baba Yaga just because she is awesome and I like her. And we have the needle mind if I bring this a bit closer. I don't know if you can see it, but that's Baba Yaga's house. Came with the kit. But I love this. It's gorgeous. I need to get on with it, as I'm going to say probably for every piece that I show you. But I really, really do like her. Love the threads. Think they're beautiful. Love the way the stitches sit. Just everything about this is beautiful. So this is stitched. I think this is 2/2. Yes, it's 2/2. And she's so pretty. We love her. We love our owl forest embroidery. They're amazing. I love all of their designs. But this is the only one I've started. I do have a couple of their other patterns, but they're big and I'm slow. So we haven't started them yet. Okay, next up. What came next? I think this came next. So this is from the Cotton and Twine subscription box from December 2022. As you can see, this is the design. No, yeah, I thought I'd shown you the pattern for a minute then. No, I haven't. Phew! You can probably see through it because of the light behind me, but this is the design. I love this. It's gorgeous. There are others in the series, but this is the only one I've started. This is where I'm at. So again, this is on 14 count white Ada. It's stitched 2/1. It has lots of individual crosses on it, which drive me bonkers. I haven't got that far because I started this in conjunction with another piece that's winter themed that I have since finished, but there are 3 more designs to go on that and I'm not digging it out because it's in the bottom of my stash. So you will have seen this before in conjunction with another piece, but this one didn't get that much love. We've still got some of July left, haven't we? I might do a bit more on this for Christmas in July. Seems like a good excuse because I do really like that design. Okay. So that's by Cotton and Twine. Next up. I can't remember what order I did these in. So I'm actually currently stitching on this one. So it's in its hoop. The design is by Fat Quarter Shop. I had to think about that. I don't have a picture. Where's my board gone? I've lost it. I put it down. There it is. So I don't know what this is called, but it was a Valentine's freebie. And I guess Love You More would be the title of this. So this is a Valentine's design by Fat Quarter Shop. I started it in February. I then put it down. I dug it back out recently whilst I was watching Wimbledon, funnily enough, because it's really easy just to stitch the same colour over and over again whilst you're watching the tennis. So it kept me company. And I haven't put it down since because I've actually been enjoying it and want to kind of get it finished. I'd like to get something finished. So this is on 14 count grey Ada, slightly different. We've got a different colour Ada. It is stitched with 2/1, and I just picked the colours from Stash because you needed a pink, a white and a red. So they are DMC, but they were just what I had lying around, as it were. So this was a pull from Stash. And the hoop that this is on is a Nudge hoop. It's one of their... You can obviously frame using these because they've got the little like doohickey up here, so you could hang it once it's finished. I don't intend to use this frame for it. It's just that I've run out of stitching hoops and this was sitting in my stash, so I thought I'd use it. Actually much prefer it to the generic Nudge hoops because it holds the fabric tighter. So this is my current work in progress. I really like this. It's cute. Like, it's simple, but I like it. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. among other things. I kind of interchanged my projects quite a bit. Then Mania happened and I started with the Star Wars piece I showed you earlier. I then, on the second week, started... I'm going to try and be clever with this. The needle is still in this. This design from Mill Hill. So this is on Mill Hill perforated paper. It is the first perforated paper Mill Hill kit I have started. This is so cute. I worked on this for a week and then was supposed to switch patterns, which I did do. So this was my second week of Mania with my planned 5 starts. That's a week's worth of stitching. I really enjoyed this. I was surprised. I thought I was going to hate it. I was really worried about stitching on perforated paper, but it's not flimsy. I was worried it was going to be flimsy and it's not. It's kind of rigid. Just to show you, it does bend, but it's not like really delicate. I have not started any beading on this because beading scares me. And I wanted to do all the cross stitch first because that's what the instructions tell you to do. So going to get back to this at some point. Do want to finish it. Absolutely love this. Want to do more Mill Hill. Really like their designs. Have several more of them. But that's where we are with him. As I say, he's on the perforated paper. He's stitched 2/1, 2/1. Yep. And at some point, I will have a completed owl. But not yet. I'll just pop him back before I lose him because he's in a particular container. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. Then, third week of Mania came along and I chose to work on my Welsh sampler. This is my Cariad design. Cariad in Welsh means sweetheart or darling. I love this. It's cute as anything. I love the colours. It's just really, really, really pretty. So this is the design, obviously. Again, it's on 14 count Ada. I'm using the DMC that came with the chart. I think it's DMC. It's DMC? Let's have a check, shall we? Tries not to show you the pattern in the process. I'm pretty sure it's DMC. Doesn't say. Does it say? I don't know. No, I'm not sure, but I think it's DMC. I've got them somewhere, but everything's a bit of a mess right now. So, where did we get to with this one? This is a bit more than a week's worth of stitching because I started this and I don't want to put it down because I really like it. The problem is I have since put it down. So, I think this is probably just a little bit more than a week's stitching. As I say, I am a slow stitcher. So this is where I've got to. I love this. It is fiddly as anything because there's a lot of colour changes. There's small motifs. It kind of drove me crazy, but I really, really like it. I love the design. I think it's gorgeous. Want to get back to this at some point. 14 count white Ada, I think DMC threads, 2/1, but just beautiful. Really like the design, and this one is by River Drift House Needleworks, and it is called the Little Welsh Sampler Cariad. I could actually tell you the details on that one. I'm impressed. So that's where that one's got to. Then there are more. We have, how many more do we have? 1, 2, 2, is that it? That might be it. I don't have as much Halloween stitching as I thought I did. Just because I haven't started it yet. Okay, so these are more Halloween-y. Again, they're in the hoops. Sorry, guys. So, this one. Oh, gosh, what's the fabric? Hang on. It tells me on here. So this is a 32 count even weave in the colour Emerald, I think. I think it's Emerald. From Lakeside Needlecraft. Don't you like it when it tells you these things? This pattern is by... I got it on Etsy. Cross Stitch Love. Cross X Love. I think. It is the Frankenstein Mary Shelley sampler. And I am... Oh dear. So, 32 count even weave fabric. Stitched using Dinky Dyes silk threads in the colour Night Skies. I adore this piece. This is me. This is me all over. Despite the fact that it's got backstitch in it, I still love it. I really need to get back to this. I stitched it, all of this, in like not very many nights at all. I was going really, really well, and then a certain other one came along, which I'll mention in a minute, and kind of took over, although I've since put it down because it's a pig. So this I love. This it's book based. It's as you all probably are aware, I'm a complete and total book nerd. And this just speaks to me. I love the thread, dinky dyes. I thoroughly recommend them just to get a close up of that variegation. It's stunning. I love it. I'm so chuffed with this piece. Really, really enjoying stitching this. Need to finish it. This is probably my favourite out of all of these, because it's very kind of unusual. It's a bit of an unusual colour combination. I like it. Okay, and then Flosstube, I blame you entirely for this next piece. I kept watching Flosstube, didn't I? And along came the Greenhouse of Oddities stitch along from Lola Cross Stitch. Now, don't get me wrong, the design is gorgeous. I do not have, well, we haven't got the completed design yet because it's a mystery stitch along, so they're still being, what's the word? Given to you on a weekly basis. I can't think what the word I want is. I haven't even finished the frame. I'm going to be honest, because, oh my goodness, how much counting? And why did I decide to do it on a 32 count even weave? So, this is on the most gorgeous fabric from Cross Stitch Bunny. I love this fabric. It is on, it's very big. It is on, I can't remember the name of the fabric, Lauren, I'm sorry. Night Skies? Stormy Skies? Something like that. Grey, mottled, absolutely flipping beautiful. 32 count, really soft, absolutely gorgeous. Even weave. I love the fabric. Then we have, I have to show you my needle minder because he's just the cutest thing ever. Again, from Cross Stitch Bunny. I have my frog terrarium. And this is my Greenhouse of Oddities. Now, I haven't got very far with this because, I have done more frogging on this project than I have ever done in my life. It just keeps going wrong on me. I've had to pull so much of it out. I've been one stitch over. It's been an absolute nightmare. But I'm not giving in because this design is lovely. It's so goth. It's so eerie. It's so spooky. It is so up my alley. And I love this fabric, and I'm not ripping it all out to do something else on this fabric. So we will finish this thing one day. It may take me forever because it's big and it's complicated. I mean, this is just one wing of the greenhouse. I think it would probably come all the way over here and then some. And this is on my biggest nudge hoop. So yeah, we will see how this one doth progress. But how awesome is it? I'm sure lots of you will have seen this. It's an amazing design. I do love it, even though I kind of want to throw it out the window. Only because I've had to do so much taking it out and putting it back in again, and my counting skills are not fantastic. And I chose to do it on a small count for me. Fabric, thank God I didn't go for a 40 count because I did think about it, and I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't do that because that would have been a nightmare. So, I think that is everything that I am currently stitching and working on. I have lots of other things in the pipeline. I have kits, I have patterns, I have far too much stuff. Now the question is, do I do haul in this as well? Because we're at half an hour. Now, I admit most people's works in progress parades are longer than mine, but that's because most people are more organised than me and know their design names and things, and I don't because I'm useless. Notes for next time I do one of these. Try and write down things rather than having an array of projects that are just a mess. But we have a WIP parade, so I am chuffed about that. In terms of acquisitions, there are a lot. Some of them are fabric because I joined a Fabric of the Month club on Lakeside Needlecrafts. I am not going to show you all my fabrics today. because we'll be here forever. But one thing I want to show, because Halloween is coming and we all know that I am a big Halloween fan. So one of the acquisitions, which I thought was over here and has now moved naturally. One sec, let me see if I can find it. There we are. I knew it was on the top somewhere. Ah, how cute is this? There we are. So this is the Halloween Tiny Town from Heart on Hand Designs. This is lined up to be the next thing I start. But do I really need any more starts? Absolutely not. I think I have enough to be going on with. How many do I have? I didn't count them. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's not so bad. I can handle 12. There is another one, technically speaking, because my seasonal stitch along that I started, I completed the winter design for the Winter Cometh piece, which some of you will have seen. I have not started any of the others. I'll be honest, I didn't even get to spring. I finished Winter Cometh and was like, my God, I can't believe I finished that. I want to stitch something else, and just haven't got back to it. So it will get done. When it will get done is another question. Yeah, I realise that stitch alongs are not really my thing, because the 9 jars Sal that I started with Lauren I didn't get very far with before I was like, this is quite complicated. It's a lot of backstitch and it's a lot of fiddly backstitch, and I have the design on Pattern Keeper, I have a paper pattern, I have a separate PDF file, and I still can't figure it all out very easily. So it's a bit of a nightmare. Labour of love. But it will get there. So that one didn't get finished. Then I started the seasonal Sal, and okay, we got winter done, but we got it done late. And I haven't got any further. And then obviously now the Greenhouse of Oddities, I do have an excuse. It was out several weeks before I found out about it. So I bought the pattern the last week of May. I think on the 29th of May, if I remember correctly. And that was the last week you had to stitch the frame. In theory, you were supposed to have 6 weeks to stitch the frame, and I missed the first 5 weeks. So I was behind to start with. I never did plan to try and keep up with it, because I knew it wouldn't happen. Particularly once I started it and realised how complicated it was. But it will get finished. So currently I am working on, as I said, this one, because it's not that big. And I'm hoping, despite it being full coverage, what am I like? I'm hoping I can get finished within a relatively short amount of time. I'm not going to put time scale on it, because knowing me, I'll put it down. But that is my piece at the moment that I'm trying to get going on, just so that I can finish it, so that I've got something small, finished, completed. Because I think so far this year I have 3 finishes. I have my Winter Cometh piece. I have my little Star Wars piece that I showed you. The Wales, the round Wales finished piece I showed you at the beginning, I finished last year, so that does not count. So we have Star Wars, we have Winter Cometh. There's another one that I finished. I'm sure there is. Is there not? Maybe not. Maybe there's only 2 from this year. That's terrible. Oh well, I just need to do more stitching. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Funny, I seem to have stitched a lot more this year, but I haven't finished many things. I think this is because I'm a start person. That's what this tells me, is that I get really into new patterns. I see things on Flosstube and I'm like, oh my God, that pattern's amazing, I have to buy that. And there are several of them sitting in the wings that I haven't shown you, because I'll do it next time. Otherwise this video is going to be really long. But I need to stop buying things, because it's getting ridiculous now. I have far too many patterns and far too many designs and loads of fabric, and I don't need any more. Famous last words. So yeah, that's where we're at. I hope you have enjoyed this, me kind of babbling on about my bad habits with cross stitch. Thank you ever so much if you've watched all the way through to the end. Give me a thumbs up or leave me a purple heart in the comments section if you did get to the end, because I'd love to know how many of you watched this. It'd be interesting to find out. If you have any comments, any questions, any queries, please feel free to leave me a comment. I will get back to you. and feel free to like and subscribe and do all the things. That would be amazing. It would really help me out, and thank you ever so much for being here. I hope that you have a really, really great weekend, weekday, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time you watch this. I hope you're having a good day and that you get to do lots of lovely stitching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.